Heavyweight Championship tournament has reached its final two members. But who are those two members? We need to talk about it. And were they good choices? We're also going to talk about L.A. Knight. Yeah, he might be in the midst of getting a tag team partner. And finally, we got some AEW news. That's right, AEW, they've done something that may be a good thing. We talk about that. We talk about Asuka maybe turning heel again. That and so much more coming up. The show starts now.
Let us talk to you, YouTube.
Oh no, I forgot it.
Yeah, that's why I put it in there.
Ah,
I
damn it.
got you. I got your back.
Let me talk to you. There we
Oh,
go.
come on.
We're gonna fix that
See,
in
now it's
post.
forced.
Nope, we're gonna fix it in post and put it in the beginning.
I slid it. We're live, pal.
I know, but
I,
if
I
I
slid
want
it in.
everybody to unhear it, and then
I
I'm gonna.
slid it in like it was prom night, and you force it in like it was a drunken reception.
I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah,
Golly, it's like my thing, and I missed
Uh, th-
it.
I covered it.
Uh, it's different.
Of course
It's
it
like a
is.
dildo. Not that I know personally, but
It sounds like you do. You were quick to say that.
no, I just heard that before.
Is there
That
some?
analogy.
Is there something you need to tell the audience?
No, I just heard it before. It's like a dildo. It's just that's what Michael Scott said. Well, actually, he said it's like a condom. It's
What?
just not.
Do you say what's like a condom? I don't remember that episode.
No, okay, I messed that all up.
Okay.
So he was talking about having sex with the lady that he was married to, and he's talking about it's like a condom. It's not the same thing, or it's like wearing a condom. It's just different. I don't know. That was terrible.
Yeah. So what did you think of the tournament?
I thought it was pretty good actually.
Really?
Uh, it played out. Now I know we had initially said that Cody, it was his for the taking. Apparently, they wanted to go a different direction with that. So, I guess it does make sense who made it to the finals. Because if it wasn't gonna be Cody, there's your other guy.
Yeah, I will say though, as soon as Cody was out of it, I kind of lost interest because everybody else in there is just kind of not. I mean, Rollins is obviously, but everybody else is kind of just there. They're not really established, or they haven't been, or that WWE hasn't taken time to have us invest in them.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot who else was in it. I guess
Exactly. It
Bobby
was
Lashley could have potentially made it to the finals.
yeah, but they haven't really. I don't know. He's he. He's kind of like in the almost category where he's a monster, but he doesn't win.
Yeah, there's some thing about him now going after Roman somehow. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. It's better than
Uh,
what they got him doing now.
Edge was also a good choice.
I guess he's just past his prime.
Well,
I just didn't see him.
he went and messed things up for himself.
Why was that? Getting hurt?
No, so when they were doing the tournament, when he was announced, he put out. Well, first of all, people started getting behind him on the internet because it's Edge. This is the title he's never lost. Um, because he had to retire and stuff. So they started to create that narrative. Oh, what if he gets that title? He never lost. that he had to give up due to injury. What if he gets that title back? It started to catch a lot of steam. So then he goes on social media and he cuts like this 2-minute promo. He's sitting in a wrestling ring and he says pretty much that, he says everybody's talking about finishing their story. And then it got me to thinking, you know, what about my story? This is the title I never lost. And what if I win it one more time? My days, I have a lot more days behind me than I do in front of me. So what if I win this title, do one more run, lose it, and then when I lose it, that's just I walk off into the sunset off of that. That's what he said.
Except it's not the title he never lost. Roman has the title he never lost.
No, he never lost big gold.
Well,
Which,
none of those belts is big gold.
well, that title looks pretty much just like big gold. So
That's the only
WWE
thing.
doesn't want it to be, but everybody's kind of saying that's like its lineage is like big gold.
But it's not. Roman has that lineage.
No, he has the WWE title.
He has the WWE heavyweight title and he has the Universal heavyweight title, or undisputed, or whatever the fuck the other one's called. There's too many belts. It's like WCW.
Yeah, and then they're gonna like get the cruiserweight and all that shit.
The TV. Remember the TV title?
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
No, but when you have the cruiserweight, and then you have the hardcore, and then you have the lightweight, and then you have the heavyweight, then you have the, I don't know.
And what was it? What was it? What was the guy's name? Well, first of all, Disco Inferno was like TV title residential. He's like the Miz for the TV title. And then you had God, like what was that name? His name? He did the dance, Alex something.
Alex Riley.
Yeah, with his little dick thrust.
I felt like they had a U.S. title too.
Yeah, they did. Goldberg won it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like there's not anything that's important right now. Like I don't know why nobody's chasing Roman and why everybody's chasing this made up title. Roman has 2 belts. He literally has 2 belts. And they just pull this other one out of nowhere. It's got no history. It looks pretty. Even Brock Lesnar giggled at it when he was when he walked out.
Brock Lesnar giggled at it. Roman, he never really even acknowledged it. No, he did on the way out.
He looked.
But he
at
like
it.
never looked at it. He never talked about it.
No, he looked at it on the way out. He stared at it.
Yeah, I'm saying, when he was making his entrance, he didn't even acknowledge that it was there. And then even Michael Cole on commentary said, the Bloodline looks at that title as the consolation prize.
It's because it is.
It is. Yeah, it was very much so.
So, like, why are we supposed to give a shit about it? Especially now that they don't really have anybody that, like, AJ Styles isn't going to be the guy. Rollins had his chance. He's great, but he's not going to be the guy. He might be a top heel. So, I just don't know. I guess we can talk more about the tournament later, but that's kind of how that's where I'm at. That's the place I'm at right now.
Well, I could say real quick that there was a report out today that WWE, or maybe it was yesterday, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but WWE is looking to make this title like as equal to the Romans titles as I guess it could be.
Well, if
they don't want to treat it as a lesser title.
It is though. No matter what they do, it's a lesser title. right off
Well,
the
they,
bat, Triple H basically said nobody's going to beat Roman, so we have to build this other belt so somebody has a chance to. It's like a participation trophy.
it sure is. You know, my roommate had like the perfect statement
There's
or
your roommate
line,
again.
huh?
Is this the same roommate that said Bad Bunny was like Michael Jackson in the 80s?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
hit
this
us
one,
with it. Hit us with another gem.
but this one was actually good.
All right.
She said, "So SmackDown, if people on SmackDown are going for this heavyweight championship, aren't they pretty much saying they can't beat Roman? Like they're not even gonna try. They just forget Roman. I'm going after this other title." It's like, yeah, I guess it does look that way
Yeah, that's a good point.
because you know you're on the same show as a champion, but you're going after the other title. So you're pretty much saying I can't get that title.
Right, and that's
So
and again, that's what Triple H said. Like nobody's going to beat Roman. He's got 1,000 days. So here's a world heavyweight championship that you'll have to. While Roman's sitting and drinking mai tais in Samoa, you'll have to defend this in high school gyms.
yes, you're gonna have to work twice as hard for a lesser title.
Right.
That being said, I am behind the title.
I
I'm
like it.
excited.
It's just not. I don't know, man. I think they could have done a different. They could have fucking. Cody could have beat them, and then Heyman could have done some Weasley thing where, like a loophole or something, where Cody only wins one of the belts. And then,
Yeah, but we can't be beating Romy yet.
yeah, you can.
Nah, nah, he ain't ready for that.
Yeah, let's put him in. Well, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. But let's get into the Monday Night Raw show.
Well, start off with Cody Rhodes. Looks like he's all dressed up for
Yes.
war. Like I thought he was about to wrestle.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be in the opening match, but he was not.
He was not. And he's visibly selling the Kimura lock that Brock gave him at Backlash. That hard fought victory. In case you don't know, Cody did beat him via pinfall. And I noticed that it looked like Cody gave his belt to the same individual from, I don't know if it was from Backlash or if it was from another SmackDown, but I swear I've seen that individual before.
I don't know, but he was getting a lot of loving. A lot of superstars were slapping hands with him, giving him the weight belt.
So it must be like a
They were
producer's son or something.
they were treating him like he was special.
Yeah, he was special in the eyes of those superstars.
Yep. Yeah.
So Cody cuts a promo, of course. He basically says that Brock can be beaten because he did it. He says Brock is in the rearview mirror now, and he can focus on the heavyweight championship. It's basically his for the taking. And then he starts the tournament, and then he walks away. I felt it was kind of weird that he was all dressed up to talk and then leave. That's just me.
Well, he was gonna be out there later.
I guess it was just he had the robe on and everything. I don't know. It's got the little jaggy things. What if he gets jagged walking back to the locker room and he got jagged for nothing?
Yeah. And as he's making his way up to the ramp, he stops at the title and all of a sudden, we get the opening match, which is for the heavyweight title qualifier. This is a triple threat match. The winner goes on to the main event of Monday Night Raw to face the winner of the second triple threat match. And then that winner goes on to uh, Night of Champions. So as Cody is standing near the belts, we get burn it down. Oh, out comes Seth Singalong Rollins. That's what I'm going to call him. And we get a stare down between him and Cody Rhodes.
See, if they were on their A game, they would have played both of their theme songs and had the crowd.
Oh, off.
Yeah.
The crowd would just basically have an orgasm because they're like, oh.
Well, then Shinsuke was next, so he would just blow their minds because they owe his song too.
I know, they would have been owed out already.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something happened here.
Okay.
So Seth Rollins, he goes into the ring. He has his new deal. I don't know if it happened on Backlash. I wasn't paying that close attention. He has his new deal where he stands in the middle of the ring with a spotlight shining down on him, and the crowd does the O. Except for, in this very particular moment, the crowd did not O. So he was standing there with his hands out like a doofus, and the crowd was not owing.
Good.
Did you happen to catch that?
I actually did not. No.
Yes, they did not owe. I mean, maybe like a couple people were owing, but you know, it 100% wasn't what they were going for with the whole spotlight shining down on him and all that. Right. The crowd was pretty much dead.
When I saw it was Rollins, Nakamura, and Priest, I kind of figured that Rollins was a shoo-in. I know they're
we always knew he was.
Yeah, I know they're high on Priest, but I don't know. I don't see him beating Rollins. And Nakamura, they always tease him being something good, but they always cock block him at just when he gets too hot.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Exactly.
As they say.
And they're making him look goofy, which is what they love to do with them ethnic wrestlers.
Well, I don't know about making him look goofy, but I do know they're putting him with the Miz.
That come on.
Oh, no, that's fine.
No, because he does it too much and it's stupid.
Oh. Well,
he did it twice.
Maybe they didn't tell him to do it. Maybe that was just him.
Come on. Nobody would say that. If it was his idea, he probably would have done it in New Japan. And in the one match I've seen of his in New Japan, he didn't do it.
Well, I mean, he did. What about Good Vibrations?
Yeah, he did that.
Well, I'm saying, what about that move? It's like, I don't know. It's just more of a piss off move than anything.
Yeah.
Like he's not even like stomping. He's just shaking his body.
Uh-huh. It's very over dramatic. It should be right up your alley. It's a sports entertainment move.
Oh, I like it. I'm just saying, you probably don't like it.
I have mixed feelings about it.
I know exactly what he's doing it for, so I like it. Yeah.
I like Shinsuke though, so I'm biased.
Well, he did not end up winning this match.
He didn't.
Seth Rollins did. He advances to the finals, as we stated before.
And just real quick, and Priest cannot sell a leg injury to save his life. This motherfucker, he was limping out. He was selling his leg injury from losing to the non-wrestler that's half his size. And then he like runs up the stairs. Then he limps again. Then he climbs up the turnbuckle to do his little celebration pose thing. He's fine. Then he starts slightly limping. Then he's running and jumping in the match. And then he gets Rollins in a razor's edge. And then his knee buckles. It was just, dude. I didn't for 1 second did I not believe that his knee was hurt or his leg or anything. It looked like a big dude trying to poorly sell an injury, which is what it was.
Well, yeah, I didn't even pay that close attention.
How could you not?
But it was a great finish. I'll give him that.
It wasn't, though. Be a good finish
No?
if Cody would have done it appropriately, I think. But he's running.
Saying the knee bar into the frog splash. You don't think that was a good finish? Into the pedigree. Seth sing along wins with the pedigree.
Oh no,
it's very foreshadowing since he's going to be, he's a Triple H guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's apparently about to be the champion. So,
well, we'll talk about it, I guess.
We move on to a segment. We have Imperium. They're walking around, heads held high, and they say they're telling anybody who will listen that next week. Let me see if I can get it right. Next week, the Hang That was not as good as I can get it, but
he kind of reminds me of those Italian guys that'll speak just like you and me, but then like they'll get to some Italian speaking word and they just over dramatize it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, went to the ball game and I got some mozzarella. Let me grill the raviolis.
Some mozzarella. And they're like doing the hand thing.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
But it felt like even though he's obviously German, I felt like he was speaking normally, but then he got to he got more incoherent more he said it. It was great.
And Eichner, he was doing it too. He said, "Don't you know that he had a hall?"
Yeah, he actually had some speaking parts.
Yeah,
I didn't know he could talk.
So as they're walking backstage, they come across Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and they're talking backstage.
I love this.
Apparently, they're talking about being done with the bloodlines. It's behind them, and you have Kaiser and Eichner. They go up to him. I'm sorry, that's his old name. Vinci. Giovanni Vinci. They go up to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they try to interrupt. And Sami Zayn's like, there's a good line from Sami Zayn. He says, he's like, we're in the middle of a conversation. Can you just give us 5 minutes? And Kaiser says,
"May I?
Don't you know where?" Go ahead.
Okay. So, like you said, Imperium is shouting in everybody's face that Gunther is coming to Raw next week. He's making his debut, which makes Raw must-see TV next week. So they get in Zayn and Owens' face and basically say the same thing. Zayn politely asked Imperium to just give them 5 minutes to wrap up their conversation, and then they can talk about whatever they want to talk about with them. And then Vinci says that Imperium does not tolerate disrespect. So then Zayn politely again requests 5 minutes to finish their conversation. Then Kaiser gets in. Oh, we will not be disrespected. So finally they're just like, okay, well, let's just have a match. And then naturally the match is set. I just think it's funny that Zayn and Owens are being nothing but polite and respectful. Yet the Imperium guys are saying, "No, you would not disrespect me by being polite."
Yeah. And then they had the line, you're disrespecting me. It's like disrespecting Gunther, and you know what happens if you disrespect
Yeah.
Gunther. There was it did put the thought when they were doing that. It put the thought that maybe we get like Gunther versus Kevin Owens. I'm down for that.
I guess. I don't know. I just don't. I gotta make. It'd be a good match, just in terms of, I guess, the story. I guess, for lack of a better word.
Well, I'm talking about it'll be hard hitting.
Oh yeah, it'll be alright. Gunther will win though.
Well, yeah. But we move on from that segment. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. There was this good line when they were talking about we're Imperium, and Sami Zayn's like, he's like, that's great. You'll be Imperium 5 minutes from now. Just
Right.
just give us a second,
What is everybody
and we can
with?
talk about everything you want to talk about.
What is everybody with henchmen?
Yeah, we deal with the bloodline, and now we got to deal with you. But yeah, so they set the match for later tonight, which was it ended up being a good match, but it could be something that could like I felt like that could be an actual title program that they can run for the tag titles. Maybe they still do, but
They gotta.
I felt it was weird that it was just like a random. It's like they were the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, well, and that seems to be a pattern where a team will challenge another team, and then the team that does the challenging loses.
Yeah.
I
We
think
then
they need
move
it.
on.
Oh, go ahead.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Just
go
they
ahead.
need to retool Imperium for them to be title contenders in my eyes.
Oh, I think they just need to start winning matches.
Exactly. They need to be more of a threat, because right now they're just goons.
Yeah.
They're like the the henchmen that dress up like the Joker.
Yeah. That's just villain 101, I guess. You have your henchmen that never win anything, but they're your henchmen. But we move on. We got Miz, Finn Balor, Cody Rhodes. This is the second of the triple threat matches to determine who will be in the finals, the Raw side of the finals, semifinals. And this match, I don't know. The Miz was in the match, so you know, it only got as far as it could go. But towards the end of the match, Cody Rhodes he hits 1, 2, 3 crossroads.
On the Miz.
He on the Miz. He goes for the pin, and as he goes for the pin, he gets the 1 count, the 2 count, and out comes Brock Lesnar, pulls him from outside the ring, and then F5s him on the floor. He F5s him through the table. We're gonna get back to Brock in a second. Meanwhile, as Brock has done this beatdown on Cody, this first part of the beatdown,
Assault.
Finn Balor he climbs to the top rope. He hits the coup de grace on the Miz and picks up the victory.
Of course. As soon as Rhodes was out, you knew Balor was going to win.
Yeah, like well, they told us who was winning this one.
Well, just real quick, I think Cody's pyro was toned down a lot. I don't know if they ran out of funds for his.
I actually didn't get to see it because there was bad weather in my area, so I had the stupid weather alert keep flashing up.
Well, he had the doorway, the little entrance door thing.
Yeah,
he had that pyro, and then he had the they didn't have the pyro on the whoa, but he had the fist pyro, and that was it. Just kind of, he just looked kind of naked without all the explosions. And I thought this was the better of the two matches. For me, the first triple threat match, it just seemed like three dudes that had to work together. And this one, it felt like all three of them were trying to win something. So there was a lot more believability for me.
Yeah, there was a lot more sense of urgency in that one.
It just, everybody just seemed like they were going through the motions with the first one. It's like they didn't want to be there. It was boring, actually.
Well, there you go. So yeah, Finn picks up the win. He moves on to the finals. And now we get back to Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. This segment was hard to watch.
Really?
It was bad. It was bad. It was awkward. There's so much going on with it. Yes.
Okay.
So Lesnar, he F5s Cody, as I said, on the floor. He picks up Cody. He F5s him through the table.
He does that thing where he picks him up like a child again.
Yeah, and Cody's like limp body, and he's picking him up by his neck.
Mm-hmm.
F5s him through the table. He then, this being Brock Lesnar, he gets a mic. He starts talking. You can't hear him on the mic, first of all.
That part was, I don't think that was his fault. Those the sound people.
Yeah. And then they started piping in boos. And the boos were so loud that you can continue to not hear Brock. So he's talking to Cody Rhodes. You barely hear what he's saying. You got the piped in boos with the clear shot of people not booing. It was just, I don't know. It was so terrible. And then there's a moment where Brock Lesnar, he's doing the look at this face. And it just reminded me of, like, I don't know, the Joker, or maybe even Two-Face in The Dark Knight. Look at me. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't the best segment, I would say, all around. Ultimately,
I loved it, man. I like that Brock was unhinged. Like he said, yo, you want to take, look at this face. You lucked into this face. You want to take credit for this face? I want to fight you now. Look at me. Look at me. Like how you got this big fucking monstrous guy just screaming at you like a fucking unhinged lunatic. How is that not scary? And yeah,
well, it definitely came off as like Joker-ish.
Yeah, you don't normally see Brock be the aggressive guy like that, but you don't see him just scream and totally seem to have lost it. And then he said,
yeah, and his face was definitely jacked up. He had
the scar,
big ass gash on his forehead. He had a black eye,
and he
had something on his nose.
They're basically doing what they should have done with Lashley when he did that fluke win, or when Brock did the fluke win, because they basically had the same finish as Cody did in Backlash.
Yeah,
but they just dropped it. So now it's okay. You got a fluke victory over me. We're doing this again. So now they're gonna have like a country ass kicking street fight or some shit.
Yeah, Brock challenges Cody to a fight at Night of Champions. Not a wrestling match, a fight. And then he says, "Who's the coward now?"
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. And I also like the fact that it's not just a throwaway feud now. Brock Lesnar is like, this is a traditional old school fucking wrestling rivalry. They got issues now.
Yeah, and you knew it was coming. My biggest problem was the piped in crowd noise.
I didn't even pay
So,
attention to that. I don't pay attention to the crowd. I
well,
pay
it
attention to
was
the special individuals that all the wrestlers pay attention to, because I like to see who the
that's where you live.
wrestlers deem important, and I'll check out some of the signs. But as far as like what the fucking crowd's doing, because
it was
they were cheering at something was stupid. That
well,
when Cody was talking about the championship, they were saying you deserve it. So what? Cody deserves this consolation prize when he was in the feud with like the real titles just last month. The crowd doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, so why would I pay attention to them? And they whoa all the time.
Well,
fuck them. Fuck the crowd. I wish we
well,
were
this
watching
time
when there wasn't a crowd. I'm done. Go ahead.
well, this time that's what we were doing. We were watching when there wasn't a crowd because they were piping in noise. My problem with it is it was distracting because I couldn't hear exact. I was trying to pay attention to Brock, but you have all these boos, and in the background you see no one booing. Um, Now the reports came out on this whole thing that number one, they did the piped in boos because people were cheering. So, they wanted to present that you should be booing. So that's why they did that.
I don't think
Number two,
that affected Brock as much as all that though. I think that they just happened to have a dead microphone that they gave him, and it took him a while to get back on. Because he was stalling for time. Because when he grabbed the camera and like, look at this face, so he was stalling for time for them to get the microphone working, and then finally it was working.
it was working, but the whole time the crowd noise was louder than him, which it should be, but the fake crowd noise.
Oh, I guess I didn't notice.
And then, so the other thing that came out of this is apparently that also pissed off Cody Rhodes. He was pissed off backstage, as they put it, because of the whole piped in crowd noise. Now,
so the wrestlers can hear the piped in crowd noise?
No, he said he couldn't hear it.
Oh, okay.
But when he looked at like the reaction online, all people were talking about was the piped in crowd noise. So that pissed him off because, you should be talking about him getting his ass kicked.
Right.
Now you're talking about the piped in crowd noise.
Took away the focus of what they were trying to tell. Yeah.
Yes. And apparently on the note, there are some other names from the report I saw. There's some other names who are highly upset over the piped in deal. Names to not be named, but there's other big superstars that are against it. And my whole thing is, well, you should be doing Austin Theory. You should be doing something to get a real reaction, and then they wouldn't have to pipe in noise. And I'm not saying he's one of the ones that are upset, but I'm just saying he's like king pipe in noise.
I just don't understand why you would do that. Either tell the story correctly, like either you're telling a good story or you're not. The crowd is supposed to be dictating the story that you tell or the direction that it goes or who's on top. It shouldn't be, well, they're not giving us the reaction we want, so let's fake it.
Right. They're trying to control their own narrative. Mm-hmm.
It's like those YouTube channels that delete all the bad comments but leave all the positive ones so they look great.
Yeah. Those channels are weird.
They are.
Like, why are you deleting bad comments? So what? So what?
Right.
It's more engagement. That's all you should be looking at.
See, and then on this channel, we only delete the comments that are negative towards me. We'll leave those bad comments. Rest assured.
Hey, if you got some bad comments, bring them on. I want all the bad comments. As a matter of fact, if you made it this far, put a bad comment in the chat now in the comment section below, right past the like button and the subscribe button. Put something negative. Call us dumb. Call us stupid. Call us marks. Whatever you want to do. It's open season down there.
Man, you're really opening us up for it, huh?
I want to be wide open.
Is there anybody even watching?
You can say that as a comment too. You ain't even got no one watching. Oh, there you go. There you go. No, there's not.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta get people talking. Oh, speaking of which, as we take a little break here, if you have any mailbag questions for us, make sure to send them in. We're gonna eventually start doing a segment where we're reading comments and questions and all that stuff.
Just as soon as people watch us, we'll get right on top of that.
Yeah. I'll put something out in the community section later. I was gonna do it this week, but I didn't.
We should probably get more on Twitter and stuff too.
Hey, I'm on Twitter. I'm in it on Twitter. I only have one follower, but I'm in it.
The last tweet I saw was about Gigi Dolan's buttocks.
Oh, yeah. I don't do much to the tweeting.
Yeah,
I'm more like diving in conversations.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like promote the show or clips.
Oh,
try to funnel traffic.
I don't want to be one of those noobs. Those are noob geeks. Oh, go follow me. Oh, I put out a new video. Please give it a rating and a like. There you go. There's your clip for the movie.
So you don't want to be just like every other successful?
Yeah, I don't want to be successful.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I guess as long as we have that squared away.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the show. So that was the Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes thing. After that, we move on to Rhea Ripley and Dana Brooke, surprisingly still employed with the company. And she has a match where she gets squashed against Rhea Ripley. There's a lot of things that happened in this match that I want to talk about.
Oh, God.
It's because they were bad. Okay. So Dana Brooke, she's doing her entrance. She does her little pose thing, whatever. And she's walking down to the ring. There's a little kid. I don't know, probably about 10, 11. And she puts her hand, and by the way, she's a babyface. And you can hear her verbally say, "Oh, give me a high five" to the kid. Kid turns away. So this 11-year-old kid had a chance to high five a WWE superstar, and he's like, "Well, I'm good."
Well, technically, I guess.
Technically, I mean, to a kid,
technically, she is a WWE superstar, I guess.
Yeah, I'm saying to a kid, in a kid's eyes, you have someone that's walking down the ramp wanting to, give you a high five.
Well, actually,
you take it.
And a kid's not going to know who the fuck Dana Brooke is. She's not on TV enough. Well,
that's true.
If it was like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago.
Well, I'm saying even if it's a jobber, they're coming down their entrance ramp.
Yeah, but you're not going to.
I remember.
What kid is going to high five a jobber? Hey, Steve. Steve the plumber. Let me high five you.
Let me tell you. I remember when I was a kid, I went to a live show, and Too Cold Scorpio was coming down the ring, high fiving people,
Well,
and I stuck my hand out.
that's Too Cold Scorpio though. He was cool.
I know, but he's like a nobody.
Nah,
In
man.
the grand scheme of things, he was a nobody.
He was my favorite for a while. When he was Flash Funk,
Well,
he didn't win shit, but I was like, yeah, I liked him a lot. He had the little pimp hat and shit.
yeah, but this was before that. This was like blue suit
Yeah, I know.
with the like the half gold dust suit or whatever that thing
It was
was.
basically the same thing.
Yeah,
He just had bitches to dance with as Too Cold or as Flash Funk.
yeah,
But he was cool. He was very charismatic.
yeah, he was. But still, he puts his
But think about it, like if you were a
out,
kid
and I'm like, what? I'm reaching out for him. Yeah,
well, think about it, you're a kid, you're at a live event, and then Steve Blackman with his little forehead. Hey, give me a high five, kid. No, you're not gonna want that. You're gonna say, "Get away from me, pervert."
I don't know. I don't think I'm reaching my hand out.
For Steve Black, no, you're not.
I like Steve Blackman.
Nobody likes Steve Blackman. Steve Blackman didn't like Steve Blackman.
I mean, he wasn't Ken Shamrock or anything, but
When they were talking about the finishes of matches and stuff, like, "Hey, Steve, you're gonna go over." Oh, that does work for me, brother. I think the Oddities should beat me.
well, at that point, he was just, there. But yeah, that's what happened with Dana Brooke. She got, I don't know what they call it these days. She got left hanging from the kid. So that was one thing. And then the other thing, the match didn't go, but like, I don't know, a minute or so. Rhea Ripley, she puts her in the prison escape, which is that inverted cloverleaf standing thing, right?
Mm.
She gets the tap out victory. Post match, she picks Dana Brooke up again. She does the riptide. She goes back into the prison escape. So it's the second time Dana Brooke's in it. All of a sudden, Natalia's music hits.
Oh boy.
Yes. Well, there must be a Saudi show coming up because Natalia is getting TV time. And she walks to the ring. She's walking slow. And meanwhile, this whole time she's walking slow, Rhea Ripley's still holding the prison escape on Dana Brooke. So the camera keeps flashing over to Rhea Ripley. She still has the hold on. Back to Natalia. She's walking slow to the ring. And
She stop and tie her shoe.
No,
Stop
but
and pose for a couple of pictures.
she didn't hurry at all.
Oh, I got time to sign that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's just the funniest thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then Rhea Ripley's still holding the submission on. You got Dana Brooke tapping out. And then finally Natalia gets to the ring and Ripley lets it go. So I guess that's what we're going to be doing at Night of Champions. Natalia versus Rhea Ripley.
Oh, we aren't doing that. Everybody else is. I will be not.
I won't skip it, but I know it ain't going to take long.
I don't know.
I'm actually going to have to watch that show on replay because I'll be working during the time of the show because it's at noon on Saturday. No,
Oh, that's right.
it's at noon on Thursday.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. I'm actually off that day. Anyway, I'll probably watch the replay anyway. Or maybe it's Saturday. I don't know. We'll get the details for you.
Well, that's a big jump, Thursday and Saturday.
It is Saturday. So it's definitely Saturday.
Oh.
So It's at noon on Saturday.
Okay.
So I'll be working, so I won't even be able to watch it live.
Well, maybe we can do like a live replay review or something.
A
We'll figure
replay
it out.
watch along.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that might be something. Um. So after that segment, oh, also Dana Brooke has a tattoo on her ass cheek, and she's wearing pants that were cut so high that you could tell that information.
Hmm.
So there
Of what?
is that. You couldn't see what it was. It was just the
No.
bottom of it,
Okay.
but it was right there on her cheek.
Bet it's like a Tweety bird or something.
I don't know. So then we go into the Imperium versus Owens and Zayn match. Of course, Imperium loses because it's the tag team champions, and what else would you expect?
Yeah, I actually didn't watch this match.
It was good for what it was.
I'm sure it was.
It didn't go too long, maybe like 8-10 minutes. But like I said, this could be a title. This could be a title feud if they build it right.
If they tweak, they gotta tweak a lot of things. But I wouldn't skip it like I did, like I did earlier.
We go into another bad segment. This one, the owner of the bad segment is Trish Stratus.
No,
Yes.
no, Trish. You're kidding me.
Another bad promo.
I refuse to have you fill this podcast full of lies.
Well, it was not good. Unless you're watching with the volume off, then it was good. And even
don't
then,
know.
she was wearing
Yeah.
a t-shirt. So,
Well, even then, she's a little past her prime.
I don't know. Her tits are 18, if that. They might even. I don't know. Those things are fresh. She just got them done,
Even
and they're so like huge. Not even like realistic.
Yeah, that's why she's never really done it for me. That's always been her thing. She's just had big tits, but it's not. I don't know. I liked the cat.
The cat.
Mm-hmm. There was that one Raw where she had the bubble pop bikini. Ooh.
I don't even remember. I probably do remember her.
She was Jerry Lawler's wife. She was a little sable, I think.
Oh. Yeah, I probably remember her if I saw her. Like, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trish Stratus, she goes to the ring. She's cutting some promo about Becky never coming back. And she's wearing a shirt that has like Becky on a milk carton because, Becky's missing. We haven't seen her since I turned on her. Whatever. And we do the deal where the music plays, the Titantron shows the man Becky Lynch. Trish is acting scared and no one comes out. She starts laughing and she's like, "Oh, you guys are idiots." She then starts talking about how her daughter they were going to buy a doll, and her daughter wanted to name it Becky Lynch, and she said, "Why do you want to name it Becky Lynch?" And because the daughter said, "Because she's pretty." And we even get to a point where Trish is calling Becky's daughters stupid, and she said, "She's 2 years old and don't even know her colors. She's an idiot." So yes, this all happened in this segment. And there was a second moment where the Becky Lynch's music went off, and Trish said, "Guys, that's not funny. That was We've already done that bit. We don't need to do it again." So as you can imagine, Becky Lynch shows up through the crowd. She's wearing makeup that is terrible. So it's like it doesn't look like she even has eyelashes. And she's standing behind Trish. She punches Trish. They brawl. That's the end of the segment. Bad segment.
I love when you validate my decision to skip this shit. I will say
Yeah.
that Becky always looks bad. So
Well, this was even bad for that. Like this is like I don't know on the Richter scale bad.
and not one person aside from Trish Stratus has wondered where Becky is. We've all forgotten about her.
Yeah, probably. Didn't even notice she was missing. Yeah.
Exactly. She's not the focus.
Now the real question is, where's Lita? Because she hasn't been back. She hasn't
Right.
been back since she got attacked.
She must have really been hurt.
We then go into there's a segment with Cody Rhodes. He's backstage. He's getting iced up. And we have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They're checking on him. And that was pretty much it.
Where the fuck have they been this whole month?
I had the same question. It's like, they've abandoned Cody until now.
Right. Until this like 5-second segment backstage. Like, oh yeah, we're still friends.
Yeah, it kind of didn't make sense.
Nope.
We then get Kathy Kelly. She interviews Cody. Cody, he pretty much says he accepts Lesnar's fight. And the match is on for Night of Champions. Cody Rhodes versus a Brock Lesnar.
And the lady asks about, how does it feel to miss out on your chance to win this new belt? And he basically told her that was a stupid question.
Well, it was a stupid question.
Because she's just a stupid girl. That's what he meant. I could read between the lines.
There you go. We then go to...
He did say something kind of interesting where he being Cody, he said he's been the man around here. Like, I've been the man around here, and that tournament was mine to lose.
Oh, yeah, he was talking about how he's passed Brock Lesnar in every metric.
It was just really, I don't want to say uncharacteristic, but it was just very not what I would expect Cody to do or say.
Well, he's trying to say that's why Brock's targeting him, because
I get it. It makes sense, and it just doesn't seem like Cody. It just seems a little bit more braggadocious than. I like it. I like the confidence.
Yeah, it's like, I'm Cody Rhodes, damn it.
Right.
I'm the top merchandise seller. I'm the main event segment.
But just up to this point, he's like, we got to finish my story. My daddy didn't wrestle at WrestleMania on the big stage. I lost. Brock attacked me from behind. But now he's like, I've been the man. Brock's scared of me. Let's fight.
And fight they will.
They will. In a country ass kicking street fight.
Or something to that effect. Maybe they do the fight pit.
No, they won't do a fight pit.
Why? Because it's not Extreme Rules?
Because Lesnar doesn't really play into the MMA thing that much anymore. They mention it, but he doesn't wrestle like an MMA guy.
Right.
I think they did that with Riddle because he tries to do that shit half naked.
Half naked. Oh, by the way, speaking of Brock, since we are there, so apparently that whole blood thing, it was planned, um, but he did not blade. He cut himself. He opened himself hard way.
Which seems to be his thing.
Yes. So yeah, apparently Brock Lesnar has a rule where if the story fits, he can bleed, or he can make his opponent bleed, like he did Randy Orton. Uh, but
Kind of makes
so
kind of makes you wonder why he hasn't used weight equipment on Sable yet. He's making himself bleed like that.
well, yeah, and you have who was it? Meltzer, Dave Meltzer. He made a good point. Like if he has like open reins to bleed,
Mm-hmm.
then let him blade. It's a lot safer than him banging his head up against whatever to really cut himself.
I appreciate the realism,
Yeah,
but
but
yeah, I think Bladen would be the way to go. Maybe he just doesn't. I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
ultimately it's his head, I guess. He's the one bleeding.
it's like I want to do it this way. You don't know how mad I am at the world.
Or maybe he really didn't bang his head on it. Maybe it was gimmick to where he could eat.
No, he did.
Okay.
He did. That's
I mean, obviously he cut himself. You could see the stitches.
yeah. Now maybe he cut him. He knows how exactly hard or something to hit
I
himself.
don't know, man.
It's just weird.
And,
But yeah, if you're gonna do that, just let the guy blade.
yeah, anybody that admits to drinking white lightning, I don't see them being smart enough to know exactly where to hit on the head.
Well, he knows where to hit. But yeah, that was just the little side note there. That Brock Lesnar apparently has free reign to bleed when he wants, or make someone bleed.
Which makes me want Brock Lesnar to wrestle more.
Well, he doesn't always do the blood. I mean, he did it. Randy Orton, he did it.
Didn't he?
Undertaker, I believe.
Didn't he bleed at the Lashley match? Somebody was bleeding.
I think that was. I think he did bleed, but I don't think he like bled. I think that was just like, if I remember correctly, it was like a busted lip or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it was complete accident.
Oh
It
yeah,
wasn't
yeah. It
like,
wasn't a planned spot, but Brock bleeds for no reason.
yeah, he's like, I mean, he doesn't bleed often though,
No.
but he does bleed a lot.
Well, he always gets cuts and shit, I should say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess I'm trying to say he doesn't always like
Do the
have the
Crimson
plan to
Mass shit.
bleed, but he does bleed
Yeah.
a lot. It's because he's always, I don't know, his match style is so rough that he's gonna get cut somehow, some way.
Right.
But we move on to our main event of Monday Night Raw. We have Seth Sing Along Rollins, and Finn Balor. Now, Seth Rollins, he goes to the ring again, and for the second time of the night, he does the spotlight gimmick where the spotlight is shining on him. The crowd's completely dark, and they're doing the O. Now, I say that because I want to point out that the first part of the night they didn't O loud at all. This part of the night they O'd loud, and with the news that there was piped in crowd noise, And I haven't heard anybody say this, but I think they piped in the O because you couldn't see the crowd at all, so it was completely dark. But they were a lot louder than they were than the earlier in the night.
Um,
And I just find it weird that they would be that loud now, but they weren't loud at all at the first time.
I find it weird that
So
they would
yes,
feel compelled to pipe in O's. Can't you just let it
well,
go?
no, but I think I'm calling them out. I think they piped in the O.
Okay.
Piped in the O noise. You want and people want to talk about booze, now they're piping in O's. But yeah, that was the call out there. And then we get Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. So a callback to the very first Universal Championship
It
match.
was. And it was
And
a good match.
it was a good match.
But then there was a part where Seth Rollins gave Finn Balor a superplex off the top rope, as you would do with a superplex. And then Finn immediately countered it into something. But it just took me out of it completely. So I fast forwarded.
Oh, I don't remember what it was.
He
But
did a superplex, and I think he did like the sling blade or something. But he didn't do that thing where you'd have that one last move, and then they both collapse in the middle of the ring. No, he took the superplex, he got up, he did the sling blade, and then he did a pinfall, and then they just went into a series of moves. It's a fucking superplex. Super.
yeah. Well, and there you have it. So Seth Rollins, he moves on to the finals. He will face the winner of the SmackDown side. The winner of that will be your World Heavyweight Champion. The consolation prize, the B title. But again, they're trying to not to make it the B title.
What's the C title?
Oh, because Gunther.
No, because Roman has 2 fucking belts. He literally has 2 belts.
He's one champion, though.
He has 2 belts. He has both the Raw and SmackDown titles. They created this new title out of nowhere for Raw because nobody can beat Roman because he has all the belts.
Yes. Yes. Speaking of which, there is some small, there's really small rumblings, though, that some people would be behind Roman Reigns versus Bad Bunny. I'll leave that there for you. Roman Reigns versus Bad Bunny. And then you have now these people are way off. They shouldn't even be talking about wrestling at all. Some people think that Bad Bunny should
He
be the
says
one
with
to
all the
dethrone.
self-awareness in the world.
Yes. Some people are talking about Bad Bunny being the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. Like those people shouldn't even be talking about wrestling. They should be banned from talking about wrestling if they believe that.
Saying that Bad Bunny should wrestle Roman Reigns, I think would qualify you as not being able to talk about wrestling anymore.
Well, I think you're going to know where I'm going to stand on that.
Do I?
I think you know. I mean, Logan Paul did it, so
Logan Paul, I think, arguably is a little bit bigger.
he is. But if it was in the right circumstance, like if they did it at Backlash in Puerto Rico, then I would see, okay, maybe it can happen, or it has to be something like that, lightning in a bottle like that. You can't just
if Bad Bunny started his own wrestling company, became his own booker, and booked his own matches and did his own finishes, and he set up Roman and himself to wrestle, it would still be a bad call.
Well, I'm not saying it'll happen. I'm just saying
Well,
it's
that's dumb.
starting to make its way to the community of
They
wrestling.
need to stop it with the fucking. Didn't TNA do this shit where they had like musicians come in to wrestle every now and then?
I couldn't tell you.
I swear like Master
I wouldn't
P
put
and
it past
shit.
them though.
And they had Pac-Man
Master
Jones.
P.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Master P was in TNA.
Yikes. Well, that's why they went out of business. Although he is a tall guy, so he's like 6'7", I believe.
Oh yeah, he's not anybody I'd take lightly.
So I guess you could get away with that, but still.
It's just it's the principle. You're having non-wrestlers come in to beat your wrestlers, your trained wrestlers. So not only are you making your product look bad, you're also giving the idea that to anybody that, oh yeah, you can just come in from the streets and do this. It's not hard. Just got to practice a little bit. You got to think about like Hulk Hogan got his leg broken because those are the kind of dues you had to pay to even start.
Well, anybody could be a wrestler.
No, they couldn't.
Yes,
they absolutely could not. No. Do your history. Go do your research. They absolutely could not. You could. Anybody could express interest in wanting to be a wrestler, but there wasn't like a whole bunch of wrestling schools. You had to know somebody who knew somebody, and they didn't just take anybody. They took people who would actually represent the sport because it was supposed to be a fucking real thing. And if you had these panty waists like a Bad Bunny, wrestling with you, this motherfucker's going to say it's fake right off the bat.
Well, that's just entertainment. That's just sports entertainment. But no, he shouldn't.
And that's the thing. Sports entertainment, that's not what it's about. That's not what wrestling is about.
No, but the entertainment part is pretty important. It is a TV show.
You're absolutely right, but there's ways to make it entertaining without sacrificing the integrity of what you're trying to do. When you have some little skinny guy that's half the size of one of your top guys come in and beat him, and then Damian Priest is wrestling the next week, where's Bad Bunny? What storyline is Bad Bunny in?
Roman Reigns. No, he's gone.
Exactly.
He'll be back.
So Damian Priest,
He'll be back.
Damian Priest lost to a musician that's half his size, that's probably 100 pounds dripping wet. And for what? And everybody's giving there's reports that the Damian Priest is high up on WWE's radar. Why? Because he's willing to do a job to this fucking nobody. I don't know.
Well,
I don't like
not
it.
only that, he's about to have to do it again.
Why is that? Who's he wrestling?
Apparently, they're gonna be running that back at some point, either WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
Oh boy, wow.
So he's gonna have to lose again. But yes, he did lose. But he also became a household name because everybody was talking about Damian Priest, WWE superstar Damian Priest, and Bad Bunny. Now I'm not talking about like Entertainment Tonight, TMZ, all the news places that cover musicians and stuff.
I didn't see any of that.
Oh, it was all over the place.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Michael Strahan and his gap tooth.
Well, Michael Strahan doesn't count for anything anymore.
What's he on? The View or whatever that show is.
I don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, we move on to Monday night, or no, we move on Friday night SmackDown. Show opens up with the triple threat match number two. Oh, number one. This is on the SmackDown side. We get Edge, Rey Mysterio, and AJ Styles. Winner goes on to main event the night, and that winner goes on to Night of Champions. So, uh, we talked about it earlier. Edge cut that promo. It was on social media. He cut a promo about getting one more run, retiring when he loses. So you had a lot of people thinking that Edge was going to win this match. And the other option was AJ Styles winning this match because he just came back from injury. Rey Mysterio was also there. And the winner of the match was AJ Styles.
Yeah, he had that stupid phenomenal forearm.
He did. And this was, first of all, this match was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
I wouldn't know. They started doing those stupid. They were doing like those double team moves. There weren't quite double team moves, like where they were all fighting each other, but then Edge would slingshot Rey Mysterio into AJ, and then AJ would powerbomb Edge into Rey Mysterio, and it was phony and contrived, and I didn't care for it.
So that's when you got the skip button ready.
Yep.
Well, AJ Styles, yes, he wins off of a phenomenal forearm. He goes on to the finals. Not much for me. You're gonna hear.
Yeah, AJ's kind of. I've always heard how great he is, but he's never really done it for me. And he needs to cut that goddamn hair.
Yeah, I don't know about him. He doesn't really get me going.
He's kind of boring.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But he's in the finals of the SmackDown tournament. Who will he face? We'll find out. We were going to find out pretty soon because absolutely up next was the next triple threat match.
Yeah, they didn't waste any time.
Yes. Sheamus, Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, and I didn't really care for this match because Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley, they fight forever.
And this is also like the fourth triple threat match.
Yes.
But Lashley wins.
Well, it was a hard-hitting match. Lashley somehow got busted open on the stairs, so he's like bloodied up.
He didn't want to be outdone by Brock.
And yeah, I was like, oh, does he get free reign to bleed too?
Brock wants to bleed. I'll bleed too.
Well, he did bleed, and he won the match. Not much else to say about it.
I didn't like the Lashley pinned the champion.
He did. That was the one thing.
That was my only gripe about it. I mean, it was like Sheamus and Lashley in theory, they've all been in fucking triple threat matches, like almost seems like the whole year. Certainly when ever since Austin Theory won his U.S. belt, he's been nothing but triple threat matches. And then Sheamus has been doing triple threat matches with Imperium. And then he just had that one at WrestleMania. So, I mean, I think I've seen enough of these motherfuckers wrestling two other guys.
So true.
And I don't understand why you would have the U.S. champion. I mean, I get why you'd have the U.S. champion in the tournament. but I just don't get why you would have him be pinned, especially when Sheamus is there. Sheamus can eat the loss.
Yeah, I didn't get why he was in it because Gunther wasn't in it. Like, why are you having the U.S. champion but not the Intercontinental champion?
Because Gunther's currently breaking his new wife in half.
That's that seems well, not anymore. He's back next week. The Hanghead Hall is back next week.
Yeah, which means he's got like 2 days. He's got 2 days to break her in more.
We go to Grayson Waller. The Grayson Waller effect is set for next week. He just has a backstage segment with Adam Pearce.
Yep.
And he says,
I heard the word talk show, and that's when the skip button came out.
Yeah, he said basically, what if the winner of this match this week is on the Grayson Waller pick next week? So there you go.
So now AJ Styles and Grayson Waller are going to have a segment. Who's excited for that?
Well, they actually had a segment. This is a callback to NXT a couple months ago. Him and AJ Styles had a little thing. So
really,
I don't know.
Okay.
The few people who watch NXT, I guess.
I just don't get why you got Grayson Waller, he might not be a big name right now, but he's still a name from NXT. And he makes his debut, and then they're going to just put him in a fucking talk show.
Well, first of all, having talk shows is a good thing because it means you can talk.
No, they're a bad thing because nobody fucking listens to them because they're all stupid and boring. Look at the Miz TV. Look at Chris Jericho's show. Look at doesn't Damage Control have a fucking show too?
Bailey has a show,
Yeah,
and she hasn't done it in a while. Ding dong, hello.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know.
I've never seen one of those shows be entertaining or worth the.
What are you talking about? We get the barbershop quartet. That's where Marty Jannetty got turned on. He got thrown through the window. Shawn Michaels. The death of the rockers.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. And then there was one.
There was the coconut.
There was a Piper's Pit too.
Yeah.
So
okay, so let me amend.
But since a long time.
Yeah, let me amend that. modern wrestling. In fact, I would say like even when they were doing it when we were kids, I never enjoyed the talk show segments. I never found them entertaining.
Yeah, I would say that was probably the height of the talk show. I guess almost, a little bit more modern was the talk show that Chris Jericho did.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Who he did it with.
Which was awful.
No, he did. I'm saying the one I enjoyed. He did one with either Randy Orton or Shawn Michaels, and he had the Geritron 5000, the insanely expensive, and then he smashed it over someone's head. I'm pretty sure it was Shawn Michaels, but I guess it wasn't that good. So I don't remember it. like I just pulled out the barbershop quartet like nothing. So yeah. Anyway, that's set up for next week. We then go into a match, if you want to call it that. Baron Corbin against Cameron Grimes. This match lasted literally about 5 seconds. Baron Corbin, he gets on the mic to start the match, and he says he was the last. Cameron Grimes was the last pick, and I'm gonna make him regret. I'm gonna make him wish that he never came to SmackDown or something like that. Bell rings. Baron Corbin goes in, gets hits with the cave in. Cameron Grimes picks up the win, and again about 5 seconds, and he's going to the moon.
So they can book Cameron Grimes in a squash match, but they couldn't do that with Sokoa Joe.
When?
Ever. When has Sokoa Joe been in a squash match?
It wasn't a squash.
That's a squash.
No, I don't think that was a squash. That was just a surprise win.
Okay, either way.
Omos is a squash match where he's like, the guy gets no offense and he's overly attacking him and doing high impact moves to get the crowd to go ooh and ah.
Well, okay, but why can't Joe get a victory like that? He's the street fighter. He's supposed to be the badass.
I mean, he could.
But you got
put him out there with
little Cameron Grimes with his I'm gonna shave all of my chest except my titties.
I didn't even pay that close attention.
I did. He's got like a perfect circle around his titties, but the rest of his chest is shaved.
Yeah, didn't pay that close attention, but
it was like a Superman S.
So it's kind of a callback though to his first NXT match, because that was pretty much what happened in his first NXT match. And then there was a string of, he would just hit the cave in within like the first couple minutes of the match. So that was his thing. It was just like quick victories, cave ins. So I guess we'll see where they're going with that. And Baron Corbin is still on his losing ways. As you know, he is a free agent, so he can job on both shows now. We go after that to a recap of Cody and Brock for the people who I guess didn't watch Raw. So there's a recap of that. And also, it's probably to waste a little time because our next segment is the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns and the Bloodline making his return to Friday Night SmackDown and since WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, he comes out, he does his regular long entrance, and you got the whole Bloodline with him. Title, the WWE, the World Heavyweight title sitting out there. Roman Reigns doesn't even look at it. He holds his belts up. You get Paul Heyman looking at the titles, the new title, but Roman Reigns is not. He goes to the ring. He starts talking about Solo Sikoa. When he first debuted, they didn't know if he was gonna sink or swim, but they know now he swims with the sharks. And then Roman starts to berate the Bloodline or the Usos, and he says, "You dedicated a match to me." I'm not even a tag team guy, and you're dedicating a tag team match to me. And then you lose. And as he's talking to the Usos, he says, "I want you to apologize." And the Usos, they're not going to apologize. Jay's hesitant. Jimmy, he's definitely for sure, and he's telling Roman, "I'm not going to apologize." And he's laughing because he thinks Roman is joking. Roman's like, "What, are we back in a commercial? You think I'm a comedian now?" And now Jimmy realizes that this is serious. Roman Reigns really wants him to apologize. because again they dedicated the match to Roman Reigns and lost. And Roman Reigns, he's standing there, he's staring down Jimmy, and he starts to push on Jimmy. He pie faces Jimmy, and he says, "Apologize to me." Jimmy, at this point, he's had enough. He's on his way to step back up to Roman, and Jay Uso, he steps in and he says, "We apologize, Uso, we apologize." So that's part one of that whole thing. So we got a continuation. Was Jimmy going to apologize? We don't know. But Jay apologized on their behalf. Roman then says that at Night of Champions, they're the the undisputed tag team titles are coming back to the Bloodline.
Actually, Heyman said that.
Oh yeah, Heyman was filling everybody in. But Roman Reigns, yeah, he gives Heyman the mic, and Heyman says the tag team titles are coming back to the Bloodline because it is going to be Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Night of Champions for the tag titles. So much news there. Number one, Roman Reigns is going for the tag titles. Number two, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to Saudi Arabia, which they've been very much against that. So big news there, both all around. And then Roman Reigns says he's going to dedicate the match to the greatest tag team of all time.
As he's looking at the Usos.
Yeah. And then he says,
Alpha and Sika.
Alpha and Sika, the wild Samoans. And he said it like that too. Samoans. So, yes, we have Roman Reigns and Solo. They will be facing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag titles. Interesting. Because we'll have to talk about that more because
it's one way to put it.
Well, I don't see how the Bloodline doesn't, unless there's like interference or something. The Usos turn on Roman and Solo. Other than that, I don't see how they get out.
Yeah,
of this match.
They want Roman to have more belts, so he's like the Ultima Dragon. The Usos are going to turn on Roman and Joe, or the Usos are going to fuck it up for Roman and Joe. That's really, that's really all I see. It's one of those three things. I think. I don't see where else you can go with it.
Yeah, so the Usos are for sure playing a part in this outcome.
Yes,
somewhere, one way or another. But what do you think of this whole? I thought about it and it makes sense. But what do you think of it?
I don't like it. I don't like the idea of the top guy being at Night of Champions and then going for the tag team titles, for one. I'm tired of seeing Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the fucking Bloodline, for two. I'm sort of interested to see what's going on with the Usos and the Bloodline, but I just think that Roman doesn't have a definitive like opposition. It just seems like he's kind of sponging off of the feud between the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I don't know. And I'm not big on tag team wrestling to begin with. So
yeah,
anybody going after tag team titles is just ugh.
Well, when I started this, or when they announced this, I said, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But then as I thought about it, it made sense. Because if Now remember the reports that you want they want the world heavyweight title to be like a big deal, equal to the universal undisputed championship, whatever the title is that Roman has, like the official title, put that in
Titles.
quotes. So if you want that to be equal, then you can't have both titles defended on the same night. One has to be defended, the other one doesn't. Because if it was defended, it was going to overshadow the whole heavyweight title picture thing. Even if it did, even if it went on first, or like one feud was going to be treated is going to be treated as more important than the other feud, thus making one of the titles over the other one. So it makes sense that they didn't put the other title on the line so that only one title is being getting that type of spotlight, because that match, honestly, that match should be what closes the night if you want that to be the big deal, a big deal title.
I'm with you. I would just rather Roman not be on the pay-per-view then. Because if he's not going to defend his titles, then there's no reason for him to be on the show. I don't know, man. Him going after the tag team titles, it just seems like he's taking a step down.
So you're saying his titles? Well, that's also his 1,000-day reign.
Mm-hmm.
That very day. So they wanted him on the show for that too, so they can acknowledge that he's been champion for 1,000 days.
Well, then they could do like a little celebration for him
At Night of Champions.
Yeah. They used to do shit like that on pay-per-views.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I
remember they always did it on TV.
Didn't Elizabeth and Randy Savage, didn't they get married on a pay-per-view?
I don't remember. I thought that was on TV.
No. I remember them doing little weird shit on little skits. I know they do little commercials, so they can maybe replace a commercial with giving Roman Reigns acknowledgement for his 1,000 days that he barely worked.
Or they could have had him out there. He goes in the middle of the ring. He does the acknowledgement. Someone interrupts. Maybe get an impromptu match right there at night. But again, that goes back into, you don't want, if you're trying to treat all these titles as equal, now they can't both be defended on the same show, or one's going to be less than the other.
And I'm with you there. I'm with you there 100%. So if you're not going to have Roman defend his title because you want to keep the shine on the nude belt, then Roman just shouldn't be wrestling. I think it would make more sense if Roman got another Samoan to team up with Samoa Joe as like a little replacement for the Usos, since they're clearly on the outs.
Yeah, I just don't know who else it could have been. I don't know who else. Zion Quinn, maybe. I don't know.
Didn't they just sign somebody?
But Zion Quinn, he can't be in the bloodline. He lost to Quincy Elliott, so
that's true.
That his career's over.
Well, I mean,
yeah, he might well not even be in the company anymore.
They could have pulled some strings. They could have got Jacob Fatu. They could have. I mean, there's Tama Tonga from New Japan. I mean, there's Samoans out there that they could get.
Apparently, they are after Jacob Fatu.
They should be. He's awesome.
They're trying to bring him in, but I don't know what's happening there. I don't know, like when his contract is up or whatever, but
he could also be comfortable with MLW too.
Yeah, but I don't see him giving up the big bucks. WWE comes calling you.
Well,
You listen.
some people, I don't know, man. It's kind of like those coaches that stay at like the temples instead of going to the LSU's.
Well, then you also expose yourself, Tom Herman.
There's that.
You go to a big school, Todd Dodge. You get out there and you expose yourself.
Todd Dodge didn't go to a big school.
I mean, he went from college to the, or he went from high school to college.
He did, but he didn't go to.
Yeah, he went
to North Texas. That ain't a big school.
It's college.
That is college.
That's a
You're absolutely
step
right.
up from high school.
Is it? It's
You're gonna tell me that South Lake could beat
the Mean Green? Yeah,
Mean Green,
probably.
North Texas.
I would think they'd give them a run for their money.
Smash.
Yeah, I don't think it's that far off. Especially since I'm sure most of the South Lake kids went to North Texas.
Well, you have to. It was always put in perspective like this. So, South Lake, they have some guys who can make it to play on a college team.
Mm-hmm.
But North Texas, the whole roster has made it to the college team. And then that goes the same for like the NFL.
That's not true because there's walk-ons and stuff.
I know, but they still made the roster if they're playing.
But
we're not talking about like practice squad. We're talking about in a real live game.
But this is also North Texas, so who'll probably take whatever they can get. It's not like their talent pool is that high.
I think they get people.
I
don't know. I think
they got University. They got the Longhorns, the Aggies. They got the Cougars. They got the Horned Frogs. I'm sure there's other UTEP. I mean, there's all these other schools that are competing with them. Not to mention that the Alabamas and the other that get the good players. I'm pretty sure North Texas would at least have a competitive game against South Lake. It also kind of depends on where they're at with the recruiting. Because if it's at the point of the recruiting where they have a lot of seniors and stuff, maybe that's a little bit more challenging. But if it's a younger team, like where they have a little bit more freshmen, more sophomores.
Yeah. Some red shirts.
Yeah. Like maybe they have a sophomore quarterback or something in there.
Yeah, maybe they could make it entertaining.
Now, if it was South Lake Carroll versus I don't know, Michigan, then yeah, obviously but that's an elite school. North Texas is not an elite school. They're basically just a bump up from high school.
Well, they are D1.
So, isn't Appalachian State D1?
No, they're D3.
Unless
they recently changed.
I thought they changed I thought they were part of the NCAA now.
I think they're D3.
There were some lower schools that came over.
Anyway, we're way off track.
We are.
So yeah, that was my thing about Roman Reigns. Maybe, or I thought about it, and then that's what I came to, that they did it because that title, they want to keep the prestige on the other title, so you have to keep Roman Reigns' titles off of the show. We move on to a segment. We have Damage Control. This is Bailey and Dakota Kai versus Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan.
Appalachian State is in the Sun Belt Conference.
Oh, so they recently moved in.
Yeah, I think so. 2000. 8 maybe.
2008. That's a long time ago.
2004,
I feel like they.
2014. My bad.
I was gonna say I feel like they beat Alabama sooner than that,
Did they beat
or late.
Alabama or Michigan? But they
It was
but
Michigan.
they weren't
It was
they
Michigan.
weren't D1 though. They were in the Southern Conference, which was D2, I believe. 1 AA, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying it feels like they beat Michigan more than because if it was 2000, but yeah. Anyway,
But yeah, fuck Liv Morgan. I skipped it.
well, they win. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Uh, it's not really a lot to say about this whole match. There was a no, forget it. uh, Backstage we have not damage control. We have Pretty Deadly. Whoever I forgot the two Elton and Prince or something. Yes, boy. They're talking about the brawling brutes. Ultimately, it's just to set up a match for next week.
Oh boy.
So we get the debut of Pretty Deadly next week.
All I know is that they called it Friday Night Snack Down.
They did.
And then I lost interest. So right off the bat, they killed Grayson Waller and they killed Pretty Deadly for me. Those are probably the only two NXT call-ups that I was interested in. And they're dead now.
Sorry.
Me too.
Next up, we have Bianca Belair. So we're gonna do this big celebration thing. Bianca Belair, she is the longest reigning women's champion of the modern history, or whatever they said. We got this big celebration. They're also in Tennessee, which it seems like every other week they're in Tennessee now. Like they've been there so frequently, but they're there again. Bianca Belair, she gets her entrance. She gets the confetti and all of a sudden out comes Asuka. And Bianca Belair, she's confused as what's going on. Asuka comes out and she shakes Bianca Belair's hands. Oh, she's also slapping hands with the fans as she's walking out. She shakes Bianca Belair's hands and then missed Bianca Belair. And like an idiot, Bianca Belair didn't see it coming. And then, yeah, that was pretty much that segment. So Asuka, I guess, turned heel. I guess that's what we're saying here.
It looks like we're also getting Asuka and Bianca Belair again.
Yes, because they have no one else lined up for Bianca Belair. So Asuka can get that L again.
Which is crazy. You're telling me that the only other challenger that there is Asuka.
I guess. Now, maybe Asuka doesn't lose, since they've gotten that whole the longest reigning women's champion thing out the way. Now, maybe Asuka actually wins. I don't know.
I'm not expecting that. I did notice that Bianca and Ripley, they still have their titles.
They do, which is weird.
So
Why have they not switched that yet?
oh, I hope they don't. I'd rather them keep it like it is. Those are their belts.
But it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it does. Those are they were the champions. Those are their belts.
Oh, okay. I guess that does make sense, but when you got the announcer saying the Raw Women's Champion, and then you got a SmackDown competitor
Right.
trying to wrestle for the Raw Women's Champion,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't make sense.
No. Maybe they should have thought of that before they drafted them to different shows.
Or even further, they should have thought about that at WrestleMania when there was an opportunity for both of them.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. We move on to our main event. Main event of the evening: AJ Styles versus Bobby Lashley. The winner will go and face Seth Singalong Rollins for the right to be the inaugural heavyweight champion. And not really much I could say about this match. And if I'm being honest, I didn't pay attention to it that closely.
It was all right.
So AJ Styles is your victor.
That's really all that you need to know. It was a Bobby Lashley and AJ Styles match. If you've seen either two of them wrestle, then you kind of know what they did.
Yeah, I did. I didn't watch the match that closely because I wasn't into it. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not excited about this match at all.
I wasn't excited about any of the matches
On SmackDown,
on SmackDown or Raw.
well, that was supposed to be SmackDown was supposed to be a loaded show.
Right.
And also, Raw was supposed to be a loaded show because they were actually trying to compete with the NBA playoffs this time, as opposed to just laying down and taking it.
Well, I guess in terms of it being quote unquote loaded, I guess they delivered on that because they didn't have a whole lot of fluff and bullshit. It's just unfortunately the product that they had to offer just wasn't that compelling this week.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, so you go the triple threat match right into the next triple threat match,
Mm-hmm.
right into Roman Reigns. Like there wasn't time to breathe in that first
No,
hour.
not at all.
So, and then yeah, the second hour obviously it was going to slow down because at some point you're going to have a women's match.
Right.
Because equality. Not saying that the women wrestling match is always bad. I'm just saying the pool that they
I'll
have.
say it. 99.9% of the time, the women's wrestling is awful. It's the worst segment.
Well, I don't know. I find it to be entertaining.
Well,
If not for the match, I'll turn the volume off and enjoy it that way.
I'm not going to pretend shit isn't shit. It's shit.
I'm
No,
not
you
talking
got
about equality here. I'm just talking about I'll find my enjoyment from it.
I
And
mean,
then
there's
there's
glimpses. Like I like Asuka and Io, and you got Charlotte and Ripley that actually look like athletes, but aside from that, there's really nothing. And you can't have the Japanese girls and Charlotte and Ripley just wrestle all the time.
yeah, you gotta have
What is this? The men's roster?
Shotzi on the card
Right.
and Natalia. Oh,
There's,
speaking of which, Zoe Stark on Raw had a match. We didn't even
really?
mention it.
How'd that go?
It was okay. She won in like 2 minutes. So
Okay.
she beat Nikki Cross.
Okay.
But it was kind of interesting. She did the thing where she was like she's doing the backstage segment and the person asked her why did she think she was going to succeed, and she's talking about how she was a 5-tool player essentially. Nikki Cross is standing over on the side talking to herself, and she's like, and Zoe Stark's like, "Come here, look at this. This is why I'm going to succeed because you got people like this on the roster." And then yeah, she challenged Nikki Cross to a match, and it was a pretty quick match. But
It's a good thing that they dropped that superhero gimmick for Nikki to just be a loser.
yeah, just doesn't seem to be working out for her. Just
Nope.
having a hard time catching fire.
Well, when you're obviously playing crazy,
She's having a hard time connecting with the audience.
it's because she sucks.
They need to be piping in noise. Um, as far as notes go, that is it for the SmackDown and Raw review.
What would you say is your match of the week?
My match of the week, I actually gave it to Finn Balor and Seth Rollins in the finals of Monday Night Raw.
Was it? I thought it was Balor, Miz, and. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I forgot they wrestled twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my match of the week.
I gave the match of the week to Cody, Miz, and Balor.
Okay.
Basically because of Cody.
My sports entertainment segment of the week I have to think about, so I'll let you go first.
Imperium. The real Raw. It had me buzzed.
Okay.
It was the Brock Lesnar segment, but then I got to I'm sitting there dying. Especially when they're like, "Okay, guys, could you please give us just 5 minutes, and then we'll be more than happy to talk to you. Don't disrespect us."
And then you had Kevin Owens. He was like, they're still there.
Right.
And then he said, they
fingers
say
in my face. It's really hard to concentrate.
Yeah, and he said, they say General really funny. Or I don't know if he said funny or weird.
Yeah. That was good. There was one time that I liked Owens. Yeah, I think his promos are a little hit or miss, but he definitely hit that one.
Okay. I think I would have to give it. I think Cody and Brock would have to. Even though the crowd noise thing was a little off putting. I'm gonna look past that and I'm gonna say Cody and Brock.
Even though you said it was terrible and not good at all.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay. I take it back then because I can't do that. I'm not one of those people who just like says something and then flip flops like a fish out of water. So then I am going to go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with Dana Brooke and Rhea Ripley because that kid stiffed her on that high five, and that I was sports entertained.
And there you have it.
And there you have it. Now let's get into our. What was next? Oh, we have some news to go over.
Yeah, we got a couple stories.
So we could start off with. We went over the pumpkin crowd noise. So we could start off with SmackDown. LA Knight is set to be getting a tag team partner.
Possibly.
That's already set up. So they have announced that next week on SmackDown, now card subject to change. Go ahead and keep that in mind. But next week on SmackDown, LA Knight will be teaming with Rick Boogs. And they'll be and and they'll be wrestling the Street Profits. So
which one is the Street Profits?
Dawkins and
oh,
Ford.
yeah, okay, the Solo Cups.
Yes.
Okay.
You skip them so frequently, you probably don't remember them, but yes.
I get them and Hit Row confused. Because
Well, I don't think they're on TV anymore. Hit Row.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in a minute.
But yes, LA Knight is set up to have this tag team thing, and it is already set up for next week until they change it.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than that Elias Rick Boogs tag team.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the dynamic, see if he can get it over. I'm sure he can get it
I
over,
guess. I'm
but
sure he can. I'm sure he can make it entertaining. I just don't. I don't see where it goes. It's, it's not like Rick Boogs and LA Knight are going to be tag team champions.
yeah, I don't know where they go with that. Maybe
Like the
it's
only
just
logical conclusion is it's going to be a feud between Rick Boogs and LA Knight.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe this is just to set up a thing between them two, and then I guess their hope is that LA Knight can get Rick Boogs over. I guess, because he's gonna go out there and then lose to Rick Boogs, which is unfortunate.
Well, at least they're going to do something with Knight, even if it's not the right things.
Yeah, more TV time is always good for him.
Right.
Next thing on the docket, WWE is they're changing theme songs. Apparently, they have, I don't know, with a new music producer or whatever you'd want to call them, and several superstars are set to get theme music changes.
Who?
Obviously, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, obviously, at the top of that list should be Austin Theory. God, he needs new music. In every sense of the word, he needs new music.
I was going to say Gunther needs, and I'm not just saying that because I got a hard dick for Gunther. Just his theme song is basically Gunther, Gunther, Ring General, Gunther.
Yeah, I mean, for him, they should go back to
The classical music.
the Symphony 9 or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
yeah. I don't know why they changed it. Probably because he had that before WWE and they can't make money off of it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had it at least in WXW. Don't ask me
Oh,
what that stands for, but I know he was in it.
well, there you go. But so you got Gunther, um, Shotzi. She needs new music.
I don't care if she has music or not. I'm not going to watch it.
I'm just saying, maybe it'll help her a little bit.
Sami
Uh,
Zayn.
no way.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yep.
No way. We need Sami Zayn's music.
No. Get rid of that.
Oh, there's another O.
Yeah. Seth Rollins can get new music.
You know they ain't getting rid of the O's.
Bianca Belair could probably use some new music.
Yeah, but she's had hers. Hers is like grandfathered in, I guess. She's had hers since NXT.
Yeah, it's even more reason for her to have an update.
Um, I would put. Oh man, I just lost it. Who was that I had? Uh, so we got Austin Theory for sure. Oh, Baron Corbin. He actually tweeted. He responded because it was by the wrestling news or whatever, and then he responded and said, "Me, please."
What's his theme song?
That like lottery song, I guess.
Oh,
He's still doing the Happy Corbin thing. I don't know, but yes, he needs new music. Like the theme music is so important. They don't get this. Like one day when we finally get to play Name That Tune, you'll notice that just like the first three chords of the song tells you everything you need to know about the wrestler.
Pretty much.
Like you hear the shattered glass, you immediately know that was Stone Cold. You hear the then you knew that was Bret Hart. Well, maybe if you hear it on that, not what I just did. If you hear the car wreck sound, you knew it was either Mick Foley or Razor Ramon
Oh,
because they both had the same kind of entrance thing. If you hear dun 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 dun, you knew that was Macho Man. Ric Flair with he's got the newer thing, so his just goes woo now. But
dun dun dun
yeah, you heard that,
dun
and even
dun
even going back
dun.
when you heard the clicking of the horses, you knew that was the Four
Yep.
Horsemen.
Or what about dun 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 dun? Dun.
Of course,
Ah,
you
goosebumps
knew
right
that.
now.
Like as soon as you heard that, you knew who it was.
That's on my my dog walking playlist, and every now and then, or when it hits, I put my head up just a little bit higher.
You start. But yeah, you go back and listen, and I'm not just saying it's because they were old. It's because you just grew up what you grew up with. I'm just saying, like the first couple of chords, you knew that wrestler, who the wrestler was,
Right.
because their theme song was so iconic. It was so tied to their personalities. Undertaker, you hear the gong,
Mm-hmm.
and that told you, oh, Undertaker's up.
Or is better. I am an American badass.
Yeah, Kid Rock, or
When the man comes around.
Fred Durst when he had the
Oh, I
rolling
forgot
thing.
about that.
Uh, Goldberg, you hear the
Goldberg.
dong, 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 dong. You knew he was coming. The Wolf Pack. I do this all day.
Right.
The Wolf Pack. Oh,
I liked CM Punk's Cult of Personality.
yeah, that too. You hear that?
That was perfect for him too.
I actually liked his original or his first theme,
Yeah.
the Kill Switch or whatever.
Yeah, it was all right.
I mean, I didn't like the vocals, but well, the start of the vocals, I didn't like that where they're just like incoherently screaming. But when you get to the chorus, I like the chorus.
Okay. Nah, I like Cult. The Cult's personality, and then his AEW theme was good, or is good.
It's the same.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not. He does not have Cult's personality.
He does.
He does not.
He. Are you really,
Yes.
really?
Yes. He
You
came
really
out to
doing
that.
this with me?
He came out to that fucking Aria song.
Are you really doing this with me? That was a special occasion because he was
Nope.
making a special entrance for
Nope.
MJF,
Nope.
and
Uh-uh.
he just so happened to get injured after that, so he never used another theme song. But that was a one-time thing.
He doesn't use Cult's personality though.
Okay. Speaking of AEW, let's go to AEW. Tony Khan he hasn't announced. He's announced that there's an announcement coming this week on Dynamite. They're gonna have a major announcement, billed as the biggest announcement for the history of AEW.
Shit.
And that announcement, according to the dirt sheets, is that Tony Khan has struck a deal with Warner Media. Warner Media will be getting all the rights to AEW, not Ring of Honor, just AEW. So they're going to get Dynamite. They're going to get the new show that hasn't come out, Collision. They're going to get the pay per views. They're going to get all that streaming on this new HBO Max Discover streaming service that's coming out. And in exchange, they are paying Tony Khan $1 billion. So in just 5 years of in existence, AEW has been able to strike a $1 billion deal. That only rivaled by WWE getting $1 billion deals. Like them and WWE are the only two that can get $1 billion deals. So congratulations to AEW for that.
I would think AEW would have to work harder for their $1 billion deals.
Well, they're in the game now.
Now, you say so.
This is also
they've allegedly been in the game for years now, and they still haven't, despite having all the goodwill and positive momentum for that company handed to them. They still haven't made any traction, despite having all the names, despite having the money. This $1 billion deal will just mean that their bullshit will be more readily available to be seen by other people. I don't think there's going to be much change.
Much change. They're $1 billion company now.
So
they can do so much with that.
And they still have Tony Khan making the decisions.
Well, Tony Khan also just got them $1 billion. So
okay.
You know, he just turned his dad's investment into $1 billion.
Okay.
You know, there's only like
when
9 billionaires in the world.
When he turns it into a good wrestling product, then I'll be impressed.
Well, it's good enough to get 9 billion. Or wait, what? 1 billion.
It's not good enough.
How much is
all that means is that his dad probably negotiated a $1 billion deal for him.
How much does Impact get?
$3 billion.
Mm-hmm.
$1 billion. $1 billion and 1 cent.
Okay.
So, there. Now what?
Well, to everybody else, congrats. I think it's a major deal. I also think that deal is going to come in play when WWE signs their next contract, because they're just going to do it for even more now. It's like, well, that's $1 billion company. Now we got to be about 5 billion or whatever. I think they got like 2 billion from Fox.
I don't know.
My numbers may be off on that, but I know when AEW or when WWE's contract comes up, which is soon, they will be negotiating more, and they can now because it's like it's like the quarterbacks in their contracts. You know, because the Browns were stupid enough to sign Deshaun Watson for a fully guaranteed contract, Lamar Jackson was able to get one too.
They don't regret, by the way.
I'm sure they don't.
They doubled down on that recently.
Yeah, they might not regret it. But the point of that is that also then got Lamar Jackson his contract.
Which he still didn't get the Deshaun Watson contract. So I feel like he lost.
Well, I'm not saying the contract is the stupid part of that contract is that it's all guaranteed.
Yep.
Like, he can go and blow his knee out crossing the street, going to the grocery store, but now he gets all his money still.
He could just sit.
He can just sit. He can you know, go get another massage.
He could do that too.
And it's all within, and he's already paid for it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty amazing.
But that's what makes it ridiculous.
Yep.
But yes, that then also got Deshaun Wat wait, Jackson. They got Lamar Jackson paid. So that's what I'm saying with WWE. They're because Tony Khan's getting paid when WWE's contract renews, they're gonna get paid too. I believe their contract ends this this or next year. And they're already talking about, okay, well, we might have to leave Fox because we need that deal. So this is big overall for the wrestling industry. Impact, they may be able to make $1 million.
If you say so.
I do.
I just know that these $1 billion deals they don't translate to what we see on screen.
Oh no, I was never talking about what was on screen. I was just talking about them getting a big contract for their streaming services. Now I'm excited because AEW pay-per-views will now be on TV, or I'm sorry, on the
One of the
streaming
platforms.
service.
Yeah.
Right. So now I can just pay whatever HBO Max costs, like $12 a month, and that's a lot better to me than $50
For a pay-per-view.
for a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Even though that's standard for a pay-per-view. I'm just not used to
Not
that.
not in 2023.
Well, UFC does.
We got PLEs now, and we don't even have to go to the theater anymore. We just fucking rent shit.
Yeah.
There are some movies that are in theaters
like
right
a
now
movie,
that you
just
can
wait
see
a
on
month.
Amazon.
Yeah, I'm one of those who waits. Like, oh man, that movie. I mean, I will say, just off of a side tangent, Peacock, they're really on point. Like, there's movies like they already got Cocaine Bear. Not that I want to watch it, but they already got it on Peacock.
Yeah.
Like after a month of it being out. They had another movie, Nope. Not that I want to watch that either, but it was there like a month after it came out in theaters. Halloween, that came out a month after it came out in theaters. Like they're on point with getting movies on their service. Even though I don't want to watch most of them. Beast, another one, came out so quick. Don't want to watch it though.
I guess I don't really have a one that I like over the other. I don't like Paramount Plus.
I can't even log into Paramount Plus
That's why I don't like it.
because you can't log in.
Can't log in. It'll freeze. It'll crash. The only thing I watch it for is Bar Rescue.
Oh, well, I have it. I'm supposed to have it as a free service, and I can't even log in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
It's terrible.
telling me to pay for a subscription. Bitch, I have a subscription.
Well, if you log in, Bar Rescue is pretty good.
I've heard of it.
It's a good one. I like the shows where a grown man emasculates other grown men.
Oh, like Hell's Kitchen.
Exactly. It's exactly like that.
Boy, Hell's Kitchen. He really does go in on those people.
Yeah, I was watching the one the other day where he went to a French guy's restaurant and kept calling him a French pig. Just out of nowhere, your sauces are burnt and you're a French fucking pig. So personal.
Yeah, like you would think at some point someone would be like, "Hold up, you ain't gonna talk to me like this."
Right.
I get you don't like my food, but you ain't.
Like, God damn, it's just an omelet.
You have to get hands off of this.
You call the women stupid bitches. You stupid fucking bimbo bitch.
Over food.
That was my favorite part because there's all because they're always these sweet, good-looking girls, generally tiny, and you see Chef Gordon just looming over them, just screaming at them. The spittle is just flying in their faces.
Yeah, all because they mess up the risotto
Uh-huh.
or the beef Wellington. I don't know why those two things seem to be so hard for them, but they always mess it up,
Yep.
and you know they're gonna get it. I love when he does when he tells someone to come here, and he's like, "Come here, you."
And then he just tells them to leave. Just get out.
Yeah.
Or
I want you
to sit at that table right there and eat this shit you just gave me.
Yeah, eat this raw chicken that you just tried to serve me.
Here, let me help you out here. He takes a big shit on it.
Like he tried to kill me. I was making a point because you tried to kill me. Anyway, I think that we've reached the end of our show. So, as always, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button. And anything else?
I just hope CM Punk uses Cult of Personality again at some point in his career.
All right. And on that note, Top Guys out.